If you are here, you know her, you love her. Please make it loud right now for Sarah Lawrence!
We've got one empty seat. Who's that supposed to be for? It's just right at the front. That's good. Good to start. Good. Before we get started, are there any women in here over 6 foot? Yeah, okay. You know why? You know why? That's too big. That's too big for a lady, isn't it? That's too big. I am 6'1", and that is simply too big for a lady, okay? Every day when I leave my house, I get at least one man come up to me, usually in Ralph's, and just go like this. Basketball or volleyball? And how rude is that? It's very rude, isn't it? Obviously, it's both. I used to play basketball, and that's what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to be in the Olympics. I had a contract to be over here in America to play college basketball, and when I was 16, I broke my pelvis. And I have a little scar there where the surgery was, and I used to tell people I was a dude. So, yeah. Yes. Very funny in 2003, and you can't do it anymore. People get confused. I'm trying to feel better. Like, I'm trying to feel better about being tall, because women come up to me every day and they're like, I wish I was your height. I'm like, why? You know, I don't fit on a yoga mat. Did you know this? It's head or feet. It's not both. It's a decision. I wish I was your height. Why? Why do you want to be this tall? You shouldn't want to be this tall. Everyone should just want to be normal. Just 5'6", just blend in, just go about your day. You shouldn't want to be this height. You know, I certainly don't want to be your height. You look ridiculous down there. Everybody should just want to be just normal. This girl goes to me the other day, she goes, geez, you've got big feet. I was like, imagine they were small. I'd fall over, you know? What? You'd like size 11s, would you? Do you like wearing heels when you go out? Do you like dressing at Fashion Nova? You like dressing from Topshop, do you? Did you know that there's an online store called Long Tall Sally? You didn't have to know that, did you? Did you know that the correlation between getting picked first on like a Monday night, like state social, like basketball league team, and the guy who picked you, like wanting to sleep with you, it's very small. It's very small. Boys don't like me, do you understand? I'm like, come on guys, let's box out, let's get those fucking I'm wearing a mouth guard, you know? At the end of the game, I'm like, oh, you want to get a drink? And his 5'3" Latina girlfriend walks in. I'm like, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. That's better. That's better. I met my first very attractive 5'3" Latina. I met my first Latina when I was 30 and I moved to America, and I thought that's going to be a problem for me. That's better, isn't it? 5'3", that's the average height of a woman in America. 5'3" is almost a foot shorter than me. 5'3" is the average height of a woman in America, which technically means that if you're 5'7", you're tall, aren't you? Which is so fucking annoying for me. Because I get these 5'7" ladies come up to me, oh my god, us tall girls, we gotta stick together. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Put on some 6-inch heels and say it to my face, you know? If I put on 6-inch heels, I would be face to face with Kawhi Leonard. Do you wanna? I'd be in the NBA. I'm trying to feel better about being tall. I'm always a tall freak, so trying to feel better. I'm like, what are the positives? I can jump over a fence. Got some fence jumpers in the crowd. Whoa. I can go over those things at the airport. You know? That's a positive, isn't it? Women are always talking about not feeling safe. I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe in my neighborhood. I don't feel safe. It's not safe out there. I don't feel safe walking along 6th Street. It's not safe. Like, I've never not felt safe. Like, I'm safe, you know? I'm fucking safe. I'll park my car so far away in a dark alleyway. Like, I'll walk back at 2 a.m., headphones blaring, I don't give a fuck. Nothing's gonna happen. I'm not a good target, you know? Toward the Citizen app notification, I'm like, oh, it's a man wielding an axe. Let's see what he's all about, shall we? I walk men to their cars. Do you understand? I was actually in Austin. Thank you. Yes. If you could all laugh, that'd be yes. Yes, not just one or two at a time. A raucous laughter would be great for me. Thank you. A couple months ago, I was actually in Austin, and there was like a crazy guy, like a blah, 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 one of those yelly ones. And everyone was like scared of him. Everyone was like crossing the road, trying to get away. I was like, I'm sure it'll be fine, you know. I walk up next to him. He saw me, and he stopped being crazy. He was like, bah, bah, bah. He let me go. I feel like there's like a guy in like a white murder van, you know, he sees me, he jumps out, he goes, I've made a mistake. So, you can't kidnap me, I wouldn't fit in your trunk, you know, I wouldn't. I live in LA and I was walking along Sunset Boulevard the other day and I had my hoodie up and I came up behind two fully grown men on Sunset Boulevard and they got startled by me and I was like, that's fucking right. Don't let me catch you walking the streets alone again, boys. You'd be much more attractive if you smiled. Swinging my... So, I'm trying to be better, okay? So I'm always the tallest person everywhere, you know. When I was 10, I got severe acne all over my face, my chest, my back, my arms. I was in a bicycle accident. I landed on my face. I had braces for 5 years. There is no photographic evidence that exists of me before like 2005. But do you know what you get for just being disgusting for 20 years? Do you know what you get? Do you know what you are afforded? A good personality. Ooh. Hooray. When I was 11, my teacher pulled me aside and she said, hey, Sarah, you know how you're going for a school captain? And I said, yes. She said, well, you're not going to get it because nobody's going to vote for you because nobody likes you. I was like, are you okay? She goes, today at lunch, I'm going to get all your friends in a room. Sounds like I'm making it up. We're going to sit in a circle, and each one of them is going to tell you one thing they don't like about you. I thought, that sounds fair. I am 11 after all. I'll forget about this. You bitch. And I think that's why I do stand-up. So I'm desperately trying to get you to like me, okay? And so, thank you. And so this all kind of came to head, this whole like hating my body, hating myself, trying to get people to like me, trying to do whatever to be smaller. In the pandemic, the shit hit the fan and I cut all my hair off to like here. I dyed it brown and I shaved an undercut and nobody thought to ask me if I was okay. Everybody was like, hashtag fierce. I was like, that was hashtag Britney 2007. Check in on me, you know, just check in, just ask. Americans are so nice. You guys are so nice. You're like, oh my God, babe, this is an amazing look for you. This is like a really like, this is like boss bitch energy. Or like, what are you, like a Pisces? Like, what are we? You should run for president. I'm like, I don't think it works like that, Cindy. I was on a FaceTime with my dad, and he goes, Sarah, why'd you cut your hair like a Lego man? Correct response. That's the correct response. That's what I look like. He goes, you haven't switched teams, have you? I go, you fucking what? I go, I haven't switched teams. He goes, it's a shame. It's a shame you're not bisexual. I said, huh? He goes, well, if you're bisexual, it doubles your chance to get laid on the weekend. And he's not wrong, but he is my dad, you know? You can't... So we're in the pandemic, we're having a bad time. I basically quit comedy. I had my very first panic attack, which is hard for me to say because I'm Australian and we don't believe in those. Anyone's like feeling upset, you're like, throw some spiders on it, should be fine, you know? So I had a panic attack. I had a show that night, and I called in sick. Like I thought I had COVID or something, right? Because I had like shakes. I was sweating. I was crying. I didn't know what was wrong with me. But I just kind of something in my brain switched, and I just like hated comedy for some reason. I was really freaking out before I went on stage, and I didn't like it anymore. I canceled the show. I came home. I called my mom. I was crying, and I was like, I don't think I want to do comedy anymore. And I basically quit for like 2.5 years. And then I found mushrooms. So, as I've always done mushrooms. Now, I'm not talking like this is a journey. Okay, this is not, oh, we're going to a party on Saturday. We're going to do mushrooms with Jacob. Like it's a journey. It's not like, oh man, the colors are, it's a journey. Do you know what? For those of you, you have a mat, you have a blanket, you have a pillow, and a blindfold. You take the mushrooms, you put the blindfold on, you don't talk to anybody for 5 hours. Yeah. What? Yeah. It's not just we're going for a hike and taking some mushrooms. Like it's... So in this journey, I see myself doing stand-up again. I see myself from the back. I see myself on stage. I see thousands of people in the crowd. And this mushroom journey gives me my career back, essentially. It allowed me to... Thank you. It allowed me to see like what I had been doing my whole life. I would never wear jeans on stage. I would only wear sweatpants. I would wear a big baggy hoodie. I'd put my hair in a bun, no makeup. And I would always try to be like, throughout my whole life, trying to be less, I hope you like me. I don't want to intimidate you. I also remembered in the journey, my boyfriend when I was 21 gave me the nickname Timmy, short for intimidating. So my whole life, my ex actually gave me shit. Like I would walk into a shop and I walk in like this, like, hello, is there any, can I grab a... I walk in literally like this. He's like, why do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. And then I figured it out. That's why, because I don't want anyone to be... What? Fuck that. Yeah. So in the journey I went, you know what? Fuck that. If you're intimidated by my height, that's your problem. Yeah. Still like me though, So I had such a good experience with the mushroom. The mushrooms literally gave me my life back. I can't tell you, like I started dressing differently, I changed my whole wardrobe, and I just feel so much better doing everything that I do. And I had such a good experience with it that 3 months later I found myself in Costa Rica to do ayahuasca. Ow! Yes. What is ayahuasca? So I had a definition of it, but I found a better one, and I couldn't memorize it in time because it's very confusing. So, ayahuasca is an ancient ceremonial brew. It's made from a vine and a plant, right? It takes you on a profound spiritual journey, giving insights and emotional revelations leading to transformative experiences. Yeah. Basically, it rewires your brain to not be such a dickhead. Okay? So, people are scared of ayahuasca, right? And this is what we found out. People are scared of ayahuasca. First of all, they're scared because they're like, what if I quit my job and I get sober and I move to Peru? I'm like, if you quit your job, you probably hated your job. And if you get sober, you're probably fucking alcoholic. That's fine, And if you move to Peru, you're going to do much worse than moving to Peru. Those Peru people are fucking awesome. You think at the start of the week you're going to hate them, and then at the end of the week you're like, they're the best people that ever lived. Imagine not having a phone. Imagine walking into a room and not thinking everyone's mad at you. Imagine a world. You guys had your phones taken off you. How do you feel? A bit nervous? Those people, did you know that you can do ayahuasca? You don't have to buy a big dumb hat. I see one big dumb hat in there. Are you a shaman by chance? You can do ayahuasca. You don't have to call it plant medicine. You don't have to do that. You can do ayahuasca. You don't have to call everyone brother and sister. You can just be like, hey, Janet. It is more fun, though. It's so much more fun doing that. I had breakfast with a girlfriend of mine, and she was, like, telling me a secret, and at the end of the breakfast, I was like, if it might hurt to yours, sister, thank you for sharing that with me. It's so much more fun. It's so much more fun. So the bad press. Number one, you'll throw up. Number two, you'll shit, right? If you heard this, oh, you'll throw up and shit. I don't know about you guys. I shit every day. Just do it twice, you know? That's stopping you? Throwing up. If I told you, if you throw up into this bucket right now, your life would be infinitely better. Wouldn't you I'm all set, thank you. No. But you'll go out and you'll get shithouse drunk and then you'll spend the whole next day just throwing up into the toilet. That doesn't make any sense, right? My friend goes, ayahuasca, fuck that, I'll stick to alcohol. I'm like, they're not the same thing. They're on different... If I did this to any other crowd, they'd be like, they're not? Like, what? My dad thinks, like, ayahuasca is like meth. I'm, like, trying to explain. He's like... He's like, what if there's fentanyl in it? I'm like, Dad... Ayahuasca is literally a medicine, and alcohol is literally a poison. I still drink it. I'm Australian, you know? Ayahuasca is literally like, maybe I should quit my job and do something more meaningful with my life. And alcohol's like, maybe I should hurt someone I love tonight. It's not the same. Bad press, you want to talk about bad press? This lady told me, she was like, we do a sweat lodge over there, right? You're in like this big teepee, there's like these hot stones, you do a sweat lodge. She said one time she was hosting this sweat lodge and she was banging on a drum, she had the maracas and she was singing. She said the energy in the sweat lodge was so crazy and so intense that one lady who was like, hadn't had her period for years, she started bleeding right then and there in the teepee. She said there was another lady and she was orgasming so hard that she had her hands in the dirt and she was coming so hard she was like screaming because of the energy. And she goes, don't tell people that. I don't want to scare them away. I was like, scare them away. Put it on the brochure. Talk about bad press. We could switch that up very quickly. There was a lady there, a lovely... So I get to Costa Rica, a lovely lady there. She was a blonde lady, young white lady in her 40s, and I overheard her saying, this is my first lifetime being white. I was like, I don't know if you can say that. I don't know if you can say that. Maybe you can say that in the jungles of Costa Rica, but please don't say it when you get back to Seattle, you know? Just be careful. There's a guy there, and I said, where are you from? He goes, I'm from East Hampton, but I spend about 7 or 8 nights of the month in Manhattan. And I thought, it's a weird thing to say, weird specificity. I said, what do you do? And he said, I don't. You know the people you said at the start of the week you're gonna hate them and then you love them? Yeah, that was one of the guys. My friend goes, I'm finding it really hard to like find a work-life balance. Like if I don't get enough work done during the day, at the end of the day I come home, I'm finding it really hard to like have quality time with my wife. And this guy goes, what if it was easy? Got me again, you know, this fucking guy. What a legend. Everything like doesn't have to be magical. You know, one day we were after dinner, this guy's eating a fruit. everyone's like crowding around watching this guy eat this fruit, right? And he's eating it so weird. He like makes a like circle around this fruit. He takes the top off and he goes, "This is a very rare fruit from my village. And you cannot pierce the sack. You must eat the fruit whole. You must swallow the sack whole." And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Does somebody want to swallow the sack?" Everyone's like, "Do it, Sarah, do it." I'm like, "Oh, I'll do it." He hands it to me. I take it. I swallow the sack whole. He goes, "Would you like to try a single seed?" I said, "Yeah." Everyone's crowding around. He hands me a single seed and I take it from him. It's a fucking passion fruit, mate. It's a motherfucking passion fruit. Not everything has to be magical, you know? Just fucking, it's a... I go like this. I go, "Oh yeah?" I go, "Would you like to try a fruit from my island?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Just wait right there. Just go." "This is a fruit from my island of Australia." We call it the bayayaya. Just a bit of fun for me, you know. I fell in love over there. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was not reciprocated. Thank you, yes. I was very annoying. I was like a man. You know, like when a man's like trying to find out if a guy has a girlfriend, a girl has a boyfriend. I was like, hey, buddy. I saw on your WhatsApp status, I saw that it says you're going to be offline for a couple of weeks. How does your girlfriend feel about that? He goes, "I don't have a girlfriend." I'm like, "Yes." And then he just ferociously started referring to me as bro and dude, and I was like, "That's fine. Relax. I get it. It's fine." My friend was like, "Sarah, you're in the driver's seat right now. Okay? You're in your masculine energy. You need to be in the passenger seat and you need to be in your feminine energy. Okay? You need to let him drive." Which is fucking annoying because in Australia, I come from a magical place called Australia where you split the bill down the middle and a girl can hit on a guy and the guy's fucking thrilled about it. You get to America, you hit on a guy, "Oh, that's disgusting. That's supposed to be my job. I'm the man. Get away from me." You're like, what? Just, I don't have time for you to gather the courage 4 hours at a bar to come and talk to me. I'll just fucking do it. I don't give a shit. Men have to hit on women all day. I have to hit on one man every 4 years, you know? Just let me do it. I said, "Okay. I'm in the passenger seat, okay? I am in my full Capricorn goddess expression. I am in my feminine. I am letting him come to me. I am so abundant and ready. I'm in my feminine era, and I am such a tiny lady. Oh, God. Can you open this jar for me? It's so tight. Oh, God. Oh my God, it's so tight. I'm just my little lady arms. I can't, you know what I mean? I'm so tiny. I'm 6'1", you know, I'm tiny. Oh God. That's where I'm like behind him like Patrick Swayze, like helping him open the jar. That's where, you know, you need to be smaller, you know. Also, like, I'm in a masculine profession. This is a masculine profession that I'm doing. And the difference between, like, a male comic and a female comic, like, male comic gets up here, tells some jokes. He'll leave line of women around the block ready to fuck this guy, right? Female comic gets off stage. Anyone like a shot and a beer? Everyone's like, don't make eye contact with them. That's a lie. There's some guys who come up to me. We're referring to them as short kings. Just a little fella. Same thing. Always say the same thing. This is what they do after a show. I like your height. I'd climb you like a tree. I'm like, maybe I don't want to be climbed, you know? I'm not Gulliver. So, it's not going to work between me and this guy, okay? He's very spiritual, very mature. He's 10 years younger than me. Why is that funny? The point was that he's 10 years younger than me, but he's more mature than me. Did I say... By the way, in the journey on the third night, I saw myself up there looking down on myself right here, so that's funny. It's not going to make sense to anyone except for you guys. Maybe that was the moment that I just came through. Hey, what's up? Ow! So, this guy would wake up an hour early and go and do yoga. Okay? I've never even met a man who can touch his toes. Not one man. You guys get... That's where you stop. You got tight hamstrings, don't you, boys? No one can touch your toes? This guy refers to his ex-girlfriend as his ex-partner. I refer to my ex-boyfriend as that fucking guy, remember? Remember that guy? This guy had his left big toenail painted white and his right big toenail painted black to demonstrate the polarity between masculine and feminine energies. Okay? And I am a clown. You know? This guy would meditate mid-conversation. I'm not even kidding. Like, what? You were all there. You saw it. So, one day we're in the kitchen. We're all having a good time. We're laughing. We're joking. We're having a good time. We're like, where did he go? We look over. He's just by himself on the couch, just fucking... I'm like, God, that's so hot. Fuck. God, that's so hot. Fuck. Ignore me like my dad, you know. One time I was like, I really want you to hear this song. I took my earbud out and I gave it to him. He started to close his eyes. I was like, stay with me here. No. I can't have you drifting off into meditation land, you know? So, the first journey on the first night, I see us getting married. And I thought, that was quick. Quick. Beach ceremony, I see it, sand, we're getting married. And it was at that moment I went, oh. One of my intentions going into the first journey was not to give men so much of my energy. Because I fall in love very quickly. I don't know if you could tell. By the way, we've never kissed. Nothing's ever happened. This guy's never even said, hey, I like you. Nothing. And we're getting married. Okay? That's nuts. Okay. So I go, I can't give men so much of my energy. And I remembered, before I left LA, I was seeing this absolute dickhead. Absolute dickhead. Okay? We've been on 3 dates. We had kissed 1 time. And I took us on a vacation to Mexico together in my head. Okay. So I thought, let me do a little experiment. Let me see if I can take the guy who I'm getting married to, I'll take his head off, and I'll replace it with the absolute dickhead from LA. And they just switched, seamlessly switched. So now I'm getting married to the dickhead, right? And I went, this is a me problem. That's what this has showed me. I'm just going throughout my day, just getting married to random people in the street. You know, what are you doing later, Sarah? Do you want to... That was my realization, okay? This could be anyone. And it was at that moment I heard the sound of a flute. And I thought, that sounds close. And I took my blindfold off. And the shaman who was facilitating the whole journey was standing at the end of my bed playing the flute. And I thought to myself, he's chosen me. I imagined the shaman quitting shamanism and running away with me to be my comedy wife. Imagine there was a shaman in the front row with a headdress and a flute. Like, imagine... So dumb. That was my first lesson. My friend goes, why are you going all the way to Costa Rica to do this? I have got a guy in Venice. I'm like, this shaman, he's 11th generation shaman. He first drank ayahuasca when he was 12 years old. He lives in the mountains of the Andes. He needs a translator because he only speaks Quechua language. And when you look into this man's eyes, they are so full of wisdom and love that you could die. And you want me to go to Abbot Kinney with Greg. You know? And you know Greg speaks in the third person. Greg welcomes you. Oh, a lot of energy in here tonight. Oh. Greg would like you to take a seat on the futon. Thank you. Greg would like you to know there are refreshments in the cooler in the bathroom. Yeah. Yeah, and if things get a little freaky later, just go with it. You know Greg's pushing an orgy, right? Greg is pushing an orgy. That's why he's chosen to host this ayahuasca night, you know? And there's 3 blonde girls there named Ashley, spelled E-I-G-H. It's not... We met Greg at Coachella, yeah. Greg. Why do I have a problem with orgies? Why do I have a problem with... If it turns into an orgy, why do I care? My roommate in Costa Rica was a sex and love relationship coach. And she goes, you know, I teach my clients, like, we have a lot of shame and guilt surrounding sex. And it's really the most beautiful, like, natural thing that we could do. And so why do we feel the need to do this beautiful thing behind closed doors? You know, dogs, they have sex wherever they want to. They'll have sex in the street. I'm like, can I switch rooms? Are we... Is it too late? Does anyone want to... It's too late, okay. And then I thought about it. I thought, like, she's right. Imagine you could fuck wherever you want. Imagine that. Imagine a world. You're at a restaurant. You're fucking your wife at the table. The waiter brings over your burrata salad. And you get to be mad at him for being rude and interrupting, you know? That's a world I want to live in. You know? There's a guy there and he said, women are addicted to needles, right? We're addicted to Botox. We're addicted to filler. We're getting our hair colored. We're getting eyelash extensions. We're getting cheek fillers. We're getting fake tits. We're getting fake butts. All that kind of stuff. And once you really connect with universal love and you realize that we're all one and you truly love yourself for you, you realize you will not need any of that external stuff to make you happy. Right? Yes. I was like, what happens if in the journey I saw myself getting my lips done? what does that mean? They were literally getting injected on the table, and I was like, this is great. It's Mother Earth. It's Grandmother Earth. I can't argue with her. It's Mother Nature, you know? She knows I live in Hollywood. I need to... They say it's the spirit of the grandma, right? It's a female energy. It's a female energy. It's a feminine energy. And I found that out when I gave her the ultimate neg. Because I was like, this is kind of bullshit, right? Because I kind of got in my head after the first journey, I went, you know, I give men too much of my energy. Cool. I already kind of knew that, you know, this is kind of bullshit. I had called my girlfriend earlier in the day and I was like, this is kind of weird. Like, we're all wearing white. Like, we're all going into a temple. We're all, like, you know, sitting in a circle. We're doing chants. We're drinking these drugs together, you know. She's like, it's giving Jonestown. I'm like, it is giving Jonestown. What are we doing here? And I said to ayahuasca on the second night, I said to her, I said, this is kind of bullshit. The ultimate neg to Mother Nature. And you could tell it's a girl because she went, oh, really? Okay. Really? No, it's bullshit, is it? Okay. Oh, okay. Bang. Shows me when I was 16 years old, after I'd broken my pelvis, I'm at the basketball locker room. We're getting told whether or not we made the state team. I'd forgotten about this moment. I'm sitting there with my coach. I can see him clear as day. He is telling me you did not make the team. It was in that moment my entire life got taken away from me. My career, the trajectory, everything. Basketball was taken away. I started drinking, I started smoking, I started doing drugs, I started sneaking out of my house. I was crying myself to sleep every single night. I lost 20 pounds of muscle. I was like a fucking mess, right? Then I get taken to the surgery day and I'm laying on the table and I see the doctor above me and I see that he makes the incision on the left-hand side, and that's when I realized that that's why my scar hurts more on the left than on the right, because that is where the trauma started. That is where the scalpel cut me first, on the left. I was able to redo the surgery. I redid the staples, because the staples, they said, whatever you do, don't look at the staples. And, you know, your girl had a peek, went, shouldn't have done that. You could see all the skin was grown over the staples. They'd kind of done them all haphazardly, and when they took them out, it fucking hurt. So in the journey, I was able to redo the staples. I was able to take care with it this time. Then I got taken back to the basketball stadium in that moment with my coach where he tells me that I did not make the state team. And I realized in that moment, that was not the worst moment of my life. That was the best moment of my life, because it allowed me to give up that career, which, you know, would have got me $40,000 a year. And it's given me the life that I have now. And my life's fucking awesome and I love it. Yes. So I advocate for plant medicine. Yeah. So the most important thing after you do the plant medicine is integration. So integration, you basically do the ceremony and then the next day you sit around in a circle and everybody tells, you know, what they learnt. And there's this one girl there and she was like 19, like turning 20. And it's called like becoming awakened, right? Once you step into this work, it's called becoming awakened. And I was like, you want to get awakened at 20? Like, you want to do some cocaine or something? Like, I'm a couple of years away from being 40. Like, I had a good life, and now I'm like, oh, I didn't know I wasn't awake. You know, I can... It's a good time. So we're going around the circle, and my buddy Edgar is next to me, and he shares. And he said that in his journey, this is the third and final night, in his journey, he was trying to heal the feminine lineage, right? Because his grandmother had died on her 11th childbirth. And so basically his granddad would come into town every December, he would get her pregnant, and he would leave again for 11 and a half months and work and come back and give money to the family. And so in his journey, he saw a black hole in front of him. And he knew that he had to step into the black hole in order to experience death and to be like reincarnated. And so it took all of his strength and courage, and he finally stepped into the black hole and he died. And he was reincarnated into his grandmother's womb. And he said that he felt the grandfather's semen come in. He felt that it was like tainted and it was bad. He felt the grandmother's pain. He felt her crying. He felt every contraction. He basically felt her die, and he did that all while he was in her womb. And in that moment, he cried and cried and was able to release all of that trauma that was stuck on his feminine side of his family. And then with a face full of tears, he looks to me, because I was next, and he said, "What did you see, Sarah?" Anybody want to go first? I saw that I should keep doing stand-up. Thank you guys, I'm Sarah Lawrence. Thank you so much, you're fucking awesome. Thank you.
She's gonna come back out and talk to you guys for a second. So give it up for her one more time.
I just wanted to say something so weird. So in my third journey, there's this random comedian called Jamar Neighbors. He's this guy in LA. For no reason, he came into the journey, right? And I remember just going, what are you doing here? That's so weird. And I just went like, oh, remember that. And I pushed him away and I carried on. And then when I was looking for venues to do this show at, once the venue owner added me on Instagram, the first video that came up was a video of Jamar Neighbors. And so I was like, okay. And literally on that third night, like there was nothing to do. And so I was just I was up there looking at myself, like trying to remember jokes the whole time. Like, do you know how hard it is, like being on another planet and going, that's funny, remember that. Like, it's really hard. But I want to say thank you to the set Dec team. They did all this. These are real mushrooms. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to my videographer team, Alex and Shai McGrath. They came all the way from Vegas. They do all my videos. And thank you to Danny, because if it wasn't for you, I would never have done mushrooms and got my career back and all that shit. So thank you guys. And thanks for everyone for coming. Thank you.
All I see is Sarah on her mat, looking with her feet like this, and just going like this and watching. And I was like, holy shit, she's like fucking in it. And then she's writing.
Yeah, every time she's done, she's like,
She was literally belly down, like looking.
Wow.
oh, this was during the ceremony stuff?
Yeah.
Dude, but you guys didn't hear her like a million times when she asked, like, every time I talk to her, she's like, yeah, I just kind of want to, like, write about this and, like, turn into, like a show.
Yeah,
and,
well,
like,
she was
make
so-
second it's
like,
funny.
she kept-
She literally was telling me what she was doing,
Right.
and I was like, yeah, that kind of sounds cool. And then I fucking saw it, I was like,
Bro.
you're a comedic fucking genius. Like,
Yeah.
I really feel like that's on par with some of the greatest comedians I've ever seen.
Here's the other thing I noticed yesterday. She spent intentional energy to get the comedians to start for her, a camera crew to come out,
Yeah.
and then a designer set just to have it as a background. Like,
Yeah.
not like the craziest amount of stuff, but like intentional effort to make something like this just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just
Touch.
Yeah, the touch.
Yeah.
The beauty way. The
Yeah.
touch.
A unique.
You know?
A unique.
I saw that and I was like, that's impressive to
She knows what she's fucking doing, dude.
Yeah.
Like, she's the perfect recipe of a star. Like,
The intentionality behind it.
she knew she'd sell it out. She had us wear white, but they didn't even make jokes about us wearing white. We were just up there wearing white. Like, it's all fucking professional.